All right. There's a lot of stuff I want to talk about, but I want to get straight to the point of why this we're gonna go everywhere. But before my boys get in, and you're curious of why did I choose this Western women versus Eastern women? The Western women are bad. No, it's actually kind of an interesting theory I came up with this week where the thesis is that women, not Western, Eastern, but women pursue proximity to whatever their environment makes viable or scarce. That is what I want to talk about. That basically, in layman's term, women go where there's opportunity. Okay, but it's a reason why I want to talk about this specifically. I don't know why every time I go on live, suddenly everybody wants to pop fireworks, like or something happens outside. But anyways, let me get to the point. Mm. So I was, it was like two, three different scenarios that happened that made me come up with this. Okay, so I posted, I think 2 days ago or a day ago. By the way, the World Cup is happening. All right, I think Mexico's going in. I'm in LA, California, and the Mexicans are going crazy. You're racist, me? No, I love Mexicans. They make me speak Spanish in my local deli. They just going crazy right now. I don't know. I haven't been watching. I'm not a soccer fan, so I don't know if Mexico. But I'm assuming Mexico must be going crazy because they popping fireworks. But anyways, um, back to what I was saying. So I was sitting and I posted 2 days ago, or I don't know when it was, like, but basically it was about Conor McGregor. Like, can Conor McGregor beat Max Holloway? Now, all of the MMA spaces or whatever. Oh, oh yeah, 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 yeah. Someone said there's a lot going on in that picture behind you. Let me do that right there. That's black love right there, baby. That's black love. But people notice the most interesting shit. That's black love right there, baby. Anyways, so I posted the video of Conor McGregor, right? And no, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine, dog. I usually do that. I usually put that right there so people can start. It gets people talking. But it just made me laugh. I didn't even recognize that. But I posted this video, of Conor McGregor. Let me look away from the comment section and get to the point for a second. And somebody in the comment section after the video was posted, they were like, "How dare you cover this domestic abuser?" And I was just like, what the fuck does that have to do with me? What does that have to I was like, what does this have to do with me? And I was so puzzled for a while staring at that. I was gonna let it rock, but then some chick that watches my streams, she hit me up and she was like, yo, what is this about? Like, cause she doesn't really know much about like the politics is going on. So I was like, all right, let me delete this comment. And then I'm sitting back and suddenly I'm looking at my viewership, not viewership, my follows, right? And I didn't know what the hell's going on. I'm looking and I'm suddenly getting like unfollowed by a bunch of people. And I'm like, where did this come from? Why did the spike of unfollows just suddenly happen? I'm like, I've been posting consistently for the past few days. Why am I getting unfollows? I couldn't quite figure it out. So I'm talking to my homegirl, right? And I'm not gonna say her name. She is a diagnosed man hater, but she loves me. Okay, but well, I allow her to get her man hating, misandrous ways out because, and then I get to hear like it's just great. I love it. I love her. I love her misandrous ways. I love it. She's my homegirl. I love her to death. But I was sitting back and she gave me this. Hey, how you guys are doing? You said most MMA is misogynistic. I let my girl know that all the time. But no, no, no. Watch this. Watch this. This is where it got so crazy to me. So I was sitting there talking to her, and this is why it's good to have a misandrist homegirl, or like I got gold digging homegirls, I got misandrist homegirls, I got feminist homegirls, I got gay homegirls, I got soft spoken home, I got them all. Okay, but this is why it's good to have this type. And she said, you wanna know what you should do, Spitty? You should create like this thing since the UFC event's happening. You should create something where uh like the girlies understand what are they rooting for. Like you break down the fighter and you give it to like tell the girls what this fighter is famous for, what that fighter is famous for. And then she got to Conor McGregor. I was like, yeah, I could tell them about like when Conor McGregor does his walk and stuff. Like, this is gonna be dope as hell, right? And she was like, yeah, but he has that domestic violence case. And I'm thinking, the fuck does that have to do with anything, right? So I got curious. I was like, you you don't even watch UFC. So what's the game going on? Tell me what's going on. She said apparently, I guess for the girls, he went on Jimmy Fallon. This. I'm gonna go into Megan Thee Stallion and Clay Thompson too, because this is some real shit right here. So, anyways, she was like, what did she say? She said that I guess Connor went on Jimmy Fallon's show, and the girls were so mad at Jimmy Fallon for allowing Conor McGregor to be on the show because he's a domestic abuser. And literally just in that live stream when I was talking about Conor versus Max Holloway, right? And someone brought that up. They said, like, why are you covering a domestic abuser? And then everything, when I say like the lights started flickering on me, I said that's where all the unfollows was coming from. I was like, it's because I covered Connor. And I was just like, that's so fucking stupid. What does that have to do with me? So I you said I'm not gonna lie. All right, whatever. I'm not reading it out loud. But I was like, what the hell does that have to do with me? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, so I asked her, I said, why? I said, why does that matter? Because when people brought that up in that live stream, if you go watch that live stream, someone brings it up. They were saying Connor, I guess he did some DV or some, I don't know what the hell he did, but basically he was in 2024 he was found liable, not convicted. He was liable where for I think it was sexual assault or something, and then he had to pay the victim, right? And so someone asked me, well, like, why would he pay the victim if he's not guilty? And I said because it's cheaper. It's cheaper to not pay the it's cheaper to not pay the victim, right? No, it's not pay. It's cheaper to pay the victim instead of go to court. So I was like, okay, um, then I said, why does it matter though? That was the question I had. Why does that matter? She said, well, Jimmy Fallon is supposed to be the safe guy for the girls, right? Apparently. And I started thinking, and as a man, we can smell when there's some bullshit, okay? And I called bullshit. I said, no, I don't believe that at all. I believe that if Conor McGregor was not rich and famous, y'all wouldn't give a fuck. I said it, dog. I said it. If they didn't give a fuck, they wouldn't give a fuck about Conor McGregor if he wasn't rich and famous. There's a bunch of DV guys running around slapping their girlfriends every night and they got a job. I'm not saying the shit is okay. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is it wouldn't matter if he was a nobody. It wouldn't matter. Dana White is on video. Dana White is on video. Like he's on video doing that. You know, on video slapping a woman. But because Dana White is not in the media, because Dana White is like just a mogul, like and he's chilling in the background, he like he's walking around cool. But then Conor McGregor, like, do y'all see how this works? So we got into this you said we now return to We Was Kangs based on real life video game only on BET. I thought you had something. I thought you was gonna go into the video game stuff. Y'all so ignorant, but I love it. Anyways, so I was like, okay, and this is my thesis. I believe that, and then it's another topic that I was talking with my homegirl about too, because it's so many topics of this to the point now it turned into a gender theory for me. Now, this sounds like a gender war red pill type of thing, but it's really a gender theory. And this was the beginning of what I said. I said women only pursue proximity, that women pursue proximity of what is perceived as scarce or valuable, meaning women inherently are opportunistic for whatever they cannot have or whatever they cannot control. what the fuck does that mean, Smitty? Well, well, let me explain this. Let me explain what I'm talking about. Let me explain this. What it means is it goes back to that Bill Burr comic comedic joke, and I'm gonna paraphrase it. He said Adam was sitting in the garden, right? No, no, no. We're not. This is not a gender war. It's like it's so interesting because it just it's interesting. But Bill Burr said Adam and Eve were in the garden, and Adam said, "Look, Eve, we got all this stuff. God gave us everything. He gave us the garden. He gave us all these animals that we can name." And what did Eve say? She chuckled and say, "It's just not enough, right?" And that's just how women work. They want more, 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 more. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But this leads to the theory that I have with Western women versus Eastern women. And this is why someone just said gender wars. They say gender wars are stupid. Everybody should realize we are all not that different. I think we are different, but what's going on is when what I've noticed is I was talking to my other homegirl. This is like all this stuff this week just came into one thing. And she was asking me the question. She was like, "Oh, like," I was like, "Yeah, I'm talking to this one chick, right?" And she was like, "Oh, like is she in the US or is she overseas?" I said, "She's overseas," right? I said, I'm telling you guys, y'all gonna catch me like somewhere overseas. I'm gonna do that. Like that's all I'm gonna say. Y'all gonna catch me traveling one day. Just know it's going down wherever I go. But like she told me, she was like, "Well, Smitty, like those Eastern girls are not no different from Western girls, right? They want like they pretend blah 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 blah, but they're the same as us." And I thought about that for a while, and but before she said that, and I had my answer. I have realized, guys, and this is why gender wars is so huge online. Western women are the game they play is power proximity. It's going to lead all the way back to the Conor McGregor stuff. It's power proximity. And the Eastern women are lifestyle proximity. What does that mean? Well, uh there's an old psychology lesson, I would say. No, no, it's an experiment where they watch how the little kids play. So usually when the boys turn around and they create a castle, right? The little girls, once they're done creating the house or whatever they've done, the little girls will come and then they would force them to play house. They'll be like, this is what we're gonna do. They try to impose rules and they try to tell the boys how they're gonna play and do the tree house once the tree house is built. Okay. Until the little boys say, you know what, fuck it, we don't want to be here no more, and they go somewhere else, right? I believe that because Western women, and I know there's probably gonna be some women because my homegirl, I have actual feminist homegirls and stuff that I get to argue with about this. So I'm pretty well versed in this. But because Western women are safe, let me stop there. Because some women be like, no, we're not. Yes, I cannot go outside in the Western world right now, see a woman on the street, and sexually assault her. Am I saying I should know before y'all clip me, dickheads? You can't go do that here. But if I'm in Saudi, like not Arabia, but like Afghan, didn't recently in Afghan they banned women from going to the parks. They took women from power positions. If I go out there, right, and see a woman on the street unattended without her husband, not only can I sexually assault her, but I can justify it because I saw her ankle. I saw her ankle. So yes, Western women are protected versus women like this. Okay. It's very key. So because these women are protected, like I said in my thesis, that women pursue proximity to whatever their environment considers valuable or scarce in the Western world. Power is valuable and scarce. So now let's go back to fucking Conor McGregor. And this is why I think that's why I say y'all don't give a fuck about Conor McGregor. Y'all give a fuck about his power. Y'all give up. Y'all care about the influence. That's what they care about. It goes like it's like little kids like playing house. No, you can't play. You can't sit right there. You can't do this. You can't play with the dolls like that. It's the same shit. They look. You can't. Jimmy Fallon. You can't have him sitting right there. He's Batman. It's that. And then let's go look at the Eastern women, right? I'm making it. You just lost your whatever. Let's look at the Eastern women because it kind of sounds like I'm like, oh, Eastern women is better than Western women. Not really, because I've been talking to nothing but Eastern women for like 3 years, and I've learned so much of how they get down. That's why I say they are lifestyle proximity, because some of these men, like some of these passport bros, as they call them, the passport bros, uh, they will go and they swear up and down that these girls are very submissive and they're this and they're that, but it depends on the environment, right? So over here in America, in the Western world, because like equality is a basic right, feminism usually when women, or even not even just women, LGBT or whatever, they yell about something, right? It usually gets heard. In Eastern society, that shit don't get heard. That shit don't get heard. So what because they don't have access to that, what they do have access to is lifestyle. So you have these passport bros, they take the dollar, they go across to these like one of these poor countries, right? And then they talk to this young girl and they don't know the game she's playing. Some of these girls are cutthroat, some Eastern girls are cutthroat as fuck, and men don't know it. But they think because the girl is soft spoken, she got a little baby voice, and because she's saying yes, daddy, to whatever you want, they think that she's submissive. But she's actually interested in the lifestyle, just like over here, and Western women are interested in the power. Western women want to be get close to the power, and if they can hold the power without you, they getting rid of you, right? Eastern women, they want to get close to the lifestyle. If you can give them lifestyle access, if they could hold that lifestyle access without you, they'll cut you off. That's why usually when a lot of them, I don't know if you guys heard it, the red pillers say it all the time. Don't bring your girl back to the states. Don't bring her back to the states because then she's gonna be infected with Western thinking. No, no, y'all just don't understand the game these girls are playing. Once you brought them here and they got that visa, and now they see they got it made without you. Now they leaving your ass. So you said it's not about quality, it's about culture. Women, as an African women are taught how to treat their men. What do you mean by that? You said this ain't DAI, there ain't DEI in a relationship. I don't know. Like y'all ain't following me here. Let me see. Y'all just joking around. I only date black girls because I don't like meeting fathers. Oh, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Damn, I got a racist crowd tonight. That sucks. This is such a good topic, and I got an ignorant crowd tonight. That's crazy. But but it was just so interesting to me. It's so damn interesting to me. Let me zoom up a little bit. So interesting. And I just couldn't believe it. That's something I've noticed. I have noticed over time a lot of these gender wars comes down to what the women, because it's kind of interesting. Because I was talking to my homegirl and I was like, yo, I feel like a lot of Western media covers too much. It covers too much negativity. I have learned, like, because it's weird. Like in Western society, like, let's think about it. Let's keep talking MMA. It's so interesting to me. Have you guys ever noticed with a lot of MMA guys, for example, when they fall out of MMA, they end up getting into trouble, right? So you ladies, not even ladies, because it's not just ladies. It's just like that's the mask, right? That's the mask of it. but that's not really what it is. But like it's other forces behind that. But like I don't know why is it that Western society, when someone makes a mistake or when someone does something, they try to take away the one thing that would have pulled them out of continuously doing bad. Why are we trying to take away Connor's right to go fight? Why are we trying to do this? Why? I don't understand this. What is the point of that? Because why are we trying to create? Because they say the idle mind is the devil's playground. So why are we trying to put people or keep them in indefinite idle scenarios? Why? Why is that the case? I don't understand it. He shouldn't be here. He shouldn't be doing okay. So y'all want him back drinking? He can go. He can live like a king in Ireland. You know, like it's so interesting. Someone say ignore the trolls. You're dropping more knowledge. Oh yeah, it's fun. It's just usually I get such a it's either or. I get a very intelligent crowd or I get a very ignorant crowd. I thought maybe, the casuals, as they say, as the MMA crowd loves to say, they'll be watching the World Cup or something. So that's why I hopped on right now. But you got someone saying Call of Diddy right now. So I mean, I love it, but it is what it is. But it's just it seems like Western society only, and I was telling my homegirl, Western society only, they say that they what am I saying? They only elevate bad. Cause for example, I was looking at I have like I've been talking to like Filipinas, for example, right? And they got me following Filipino news. And one thing that I admire about the Filipinos is that when one person wins, they all feel like they won, right? And the news that they post on like Peso Weekly for the Filipinos on Instagram, right? Peso Weekly, stuff like that. It's a lot of positive shit, like because for example, I had another homegirl and she said, like, oh well, when this was she told me. She said it seems like for the men in the MMA, right, for or athletes, right? She said it seems like we allow the men to get away with so much stuff, but then we chastise the women athletes. And I'm like, well, that's all the shit you're seeing because you go on Peso Weekly with the Filipinos. There's I don't know her name. I don't know her name, but you just go look it up. They broadcast. There was a girl, a tennis player, and I guess she's like the first Filipino to get to, I guess, the Grand Slam. I don't know shit about tennis, damn it. But like the last person who did it was a Filipina guy, a Filipina. It was talking about a Filipina girl made it to the Grand Slam, and the last Filipino was a Filipino guy in like 1960 or something. So you see the difference? Like it doesn't matter the gender. They're like, we all represent this motherfucker. Like now she's the standard. So now a guy or girl needs to get further than where she went. See how that works? But we over here and you talking about I don't know, bro. I just feel like we as a society, we are too invested in negative shit. Too invested. Too invested. You know? And then you would think like you would think it sounds like the Filipinos guy like that's a perfect society. But if y'all know what the hell's going on out there, the government's corrupt, but they still focus on the good shit. They still focus on what they can't control. It's really interesting. Why don't we do that shit? But that's the difference. You said sending hate from Cincinnati. Hey, man. Oh wow, that's a crazy ass name. I just realized what his name was. Yeah, you want to know something crazy that I want to talk about? So his name is speaking of that. That probably would be another that'd be another topic. But like for a while I was a big fan of like like the red pill and stuff, but I feel like the red pill has gotten very racist. Very, very racist. Like let's talk like it's so interesting because a lot of the guys are now when they talk about anything that is not the gender stuff, bro, they sound ignorant as fuck. I'm like, damn, bro. Like this dude, his name is Carmelo killed Austin, I guess. Like, I bet you're white. I know you're white, and I don't understand when you guys it's so funny. It's so funny. Let's go there. Let's go there. Since we like let's go there. I believe the reason why America is so negative, and here was the "we was Kangs" moment. Someone said that, like thinking, but it's kind of funny. Is because of white America's obsession with black people. If you really study our history, I'm not like if you really studied our history, you would see that some of the most major contributions and entertainment was white obsession with black folks. And because black folks is so fucking dysfunctional, we have infected all of America. Like it was like white folks not wanting. It's so weird. White folks not wanting black people to rise, but interested in black folks and inspired by black folks. That when black folks finally rise, we rise so fucking negative that everyone's copying that, and that's just what America looks like now. I don't know. That's just my conspiracy theory because it's interesting to me. We'll talk about that another time. Right now, the whole topic is maybe another Sunday or something. I want to keep it, but like the West versus the East. I want to keep it just like that. Someone said, if you could sit there and make that your profile name, you literally have no life. Yeah, I know. Like it's just like it's a weird obsession. And then I think also like some like it's reversed too. Some blacks have a weird obsession with whiteness too. But that's another talk for another day. You said I heard that track thing was over a woman. Wait, really? So you heard the Carmelo when he stabbed the Austin kid was over a girl? Are you sure? I would have to fact check that because as far as I understand was from what I know is he was see this live stream is supposed to be about Western women, but we'll talk about that. We can go political. We could talk about that. This is what I heard. I'll probably dive it back to the Western women, but this is what I've heard. This is what I've heard from what I understood. Because like I told you guys last live stream, I don't pay attention to something unless I'm ready to die for it. So I looked into it a little bit. I guess the black kid stabbed the white twin because the white twins were bullying him. That is what I heard. Okay, he was being bullied. Okay, it's a fucking bullying problem. All right, all right. That's what I heard. It was a bullying problem. Now, what's so interesting to me about this is when I heard it, I'm like, oh, okay, he was bullied. So instead of going shooting up the school, he stabbed the person who was bullying him. Why are we so compassionate and understanding when a white kid goes and shoots up a school, but then we made it a whole like racial debates about this black kid stabbing this white kid? And you want to know something crazy? Like there was a bunch of like black people that was like he should not go to jail. I'm like, no, he did take that black ass kid to jail. Damn it, take him to jail. He got like he fucked up, okay, or maybe I don't know, but like he broke the law. He went over and he stabbed the white boy. Okay, like he should go to jail. Like I mean, isn't that breaking the law? Like I don't know why this was such a big like debate. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Like as you guys see, that's as much as I know. He was getting bullied. He killed the bully. That's murder. Jail. Like, how did this become such a racial debate? Why did like I don't know, man. Someone correct me. Maybe I'm ignorant. Maybe I'm ignorant. It made sense to me. I said he retaliated. That's such a black thing to do. That's such a black thing to do. Black people retaliate. They like it's personal. When black people go kill someone, it's personal. Usually, it's personal. But then like that's ooh, that's a good one. Like if we talk about different pains, like so white pain jumps up and it wants everybody to fucking feel it. You know that what is that? It's a quote that if someone can help me out with this, when if the abandoned child can't feel the village's warmth, he will burn down the village to feel its warmth. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? That's some white people shit, okay? But like that's just white pain. That's how white pain gets down. Like it everybody gotta fucking feel my problem, you know? Um, but black pain, it's like self-hating and it's retaliation. So if someone looks like me, I'm gonna go kill him. Like that's the like it's and don't think the same way with this topic of Western women versus Eastern women and white pain versus black pain. Like there's no what's better and what's worse, damn it. It all got some damn issues, you know? You said, "Why don't shooters make lists anymore? It's just random now." In my day, it was a process of bullying and ostracism, and they would make a list. Now the shooters these days just want to be famous. Yeah, I know, but like, you see what I'm saying? Like that, it's such a that I. You know what? You damn right. That's such a white thing, though. It's like everybody's gonna fucking feel it. Everybody's gonna feel my pain. Like, like we this Carmelo thing became such a big thing. It was bigger than there was a white boy who went into the church and shot a bunch of little kids. We that was not national. That I was so sick to my stomach. I couldn't believe it. Like, I could not believe it. I said he went and he shot, or was it the middle school? Or it was an elementary. He shot at those kids. I was so hurt. That hurt me. I was, oh my gosh, that hurt me so much. But it wasn't national news. Everybody said, "Oh, he another school shooting," and they swept it under the rug. But this Carmelo Anthony stuff became like a racial divide and big news. I'm still mad about Trayvon Martin, you know? Like, but whatever. You said racial division is manufactured. Nobody is born racist. Observing the obvious will motivate an individual. Yeah. You said, "I am Jesus." Okay. The child who is not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth. Yes, it's an African proverb, but that's a white philosophy. That's some shit white people do. They say, you know what? Just think about every single white folk like where he about to he getting his get back. The world is about to burn. That's some Joker shit, dog. That's some Joker shit. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but I'm just saying like that's just how they get down. What happened with the whole Trayvon Martin case? I forgot. Oh my god, bro. So I was like, I will never forget this case. I will never forget this case because I believe that this is what started it all. All this like black folks getting killed on camera and getting away with it. Like I feel like this was the start of it. So Trayvon Martin was 17 or 16 years old. He decides that he wants to go get some motherfucking Skittles and iced tea. That's what he wanted to do. So he goes and gets some Skittles and he gets some iced tea and he's walking back with his hoodie on and stuff, right? And y'all, like, this haunts me so much because I do this all the time. I have a deli sitting right here, and I always dress the same way like that. So while he's walking back, George Zimmerman is a neighborhood watch guy, and he sees Trayvon and he calls the police. I know very well in depth about this case because in high school, I had this English teacher. I don't know how she got this, but she had all of the police recordings of Zimmerman talking. She had everything. And I listened to it very carefully. You hear like Zimmerman racially profiled him. He said, "Yeah, there's a guy walking. Um, he looks very suspicious. Can you guys send a squad car over?" And the lady was like, "Okay, we'll do that. Just sit there." And then Zimmerman was like, "No, but he might get away." And she was like, "Yeah, but like the dispatch told him to sit his ass there." So Zimmerman said these words. He said, "Man, they always get away. They always get away." So he begins to follow Trayvon. Trayvon tries to run from him, screaming, "Help!" There's a I don't even know if they have those up anymore. This is like I think this was like 2009, 2010, 2011, whatever. So you hear like this woman on the phone, and she's saying that there's a boy screaming help, and that's because Zimmerman started chasing him. Got out of his car, started chasing him. So Trayvon at some point stops, turns around, they start talking, and then Trayvon proceeds to whoop his ass. So he chased Trayvon. Trayvon turned around, talked. I don't know what was spoken, but Trayvon whoops his ass, right? And while getting his ass whooped, he pulls out the gun and kills Trayvon Martin. They had his body sitting right there. I'll never forget that boy's eyes. Me and him was the same age. I've never seen a dead body before until that moment. And I was looking, that was my first time seeing a dead body. I was staring at that, and I will never forget those eyes. And just the lifeless look in his body. And I was just like, wow. And Zimmerman claimed self-defense and got off. He got off. It was huge. I remember everybody was outside, like, and he got off. Up. And at first he was kind of hiding, and then he turned around and he started going to racist conventions. He started signing, like, white people was going to meet and greets, and he was signing Skittles. Um, he was signing iced teas. He sold the gun that he shot. He killed Trayvon Martin with. Got like a good amount of money. Yeah, never was touched. Oh yeah, oh. I will never forget that. That haunted me as a kid. I was like, wow, because I do that all the time. That's such a young kid thing to do. Like you save up some money, you're playing video games, and you go and you get some snacks to come back and keep playing video games like that. Yeah, that got to me. You said, meanwhile, Trayvon's brother's wondering where's Trayvon with my Skittles. Yeah, yeah, exactly. I wasn't there. I can't say. Damn, they got meet and greet. Yeah, it was cold, bro. It was cold. Like I was, and it wasn't like I'm not advocating to go kill Zimmerman or nothing. Like it is what it is. But like once I just remember once that happened, suddenly it was just more and more, just like killings that just like the thing is that people. One thing that I've noticed America does, like the way America handles black people, like black people are the only race where it's what has happened lately. Like what has happened lately. Don't worry about what happened in the past. Why what has happened lately? And they don't really recognize, like, okay, like the 2020 riots, right? The 2020 riots. Let's talk about that. Um People do not recognize how. You said, I'm from North Carolina. There was an instance where two African Americans had some issues. One decided to bring a gun to school. They fought and shot the other guy and passed away. Yeah. When you do not have to worry about black people in terms of shooting up a school, there you have to worry about black people killing black people. That's the problem. But like let's talk about the 2020 riots. Like that wasn't just like everyone talks about George Floyd, right? This stream turned into something totally fucking different. Like I was not expecting this, boys. We were supposed to talk about Western women, but I love y'all. Y'all transition, but everyone makes it seem like that we look at George Floyd as some martyr, and that's not really what it was. Like what caused the 2020 riots was people were bored. People were bored. They were bored. That's what happened. Like it wasn't, but it was just such a good excuse because they had spent the entire decade. It was the entire decade of just doing that, right? And then George Floyd pops up and he's under the officer's neck or whatever on video. And I remember, I will never forget. Like it was going to be a regular riot, but this is around the time where they had just started putting us under lockdown. So I remember seeing a picture. I'll never forget this. And they were like, historic moment. Are we seeing racial unity? I wish I could find that fucking article. And it showed like a bunch of white people at the it showed a bunch of white people at the George Floyd rally. And I will never forget. I was looking at that shit and I was like, they don't give a fuck about George Floyd. They just want to go outside, right? I said, that don't look right. Suddenly a riot broke out, right? Suddenly a riot broke out. And then not only did that riot broke out, but a riot broke out across the fucking country. The whole country was burning, right? And it was, I believe it's because people were bored. Like, that's what I think. I believe people were bored. You said I asked a question to put a story back on topic, but you never read it. What's your favorite episode of Atlanta? My bad, my bad. It's just like it's just crazy to me. My bad, man. My bad, my bad, my bad, my bad. But yeah, I mean, we could talk about whatever. We could talk about whatever. I might change what the live stream was about. I think I'm gonna change it, but but whatever. Don't matter. Don't matter. You said Zimmerman kicked off his racial deal, but I think it might have been OJ. I you think OJ did it? I don't nah. Well, I did hear like a lot of black people say that they're getting us back for OJ, but I don't think so because I don't maybe maybe I don't know. That's a good one. That is a good one. That's a good one. Man, what is that on your head? You need a Black Panther hat on your America. You know, someone said this was the Puerto Rican, that had me dying. I was like, "Yeah, Puerto Rican, sure." Uh, well, I mean, Captain America is black. Yeah, man. Oh, man, I'm so funny. You said OJ was innocent? I don't know, man. I do know, you know something crazy that I found out the other day? I found out that in 1615, I think it was 1615, that's when slavery started. So before like the first Africans came on shore, and it was at first about indentured servitude. Okay. And slavery didn't start automatically. It didn't start automatically. Um, you were able to be free. There was actually some free black men before slavery was initiated across the country. What ended up happening was they created slavery, and you can fact check me. I'm very confident on this one because I when I found this out, it blew my mind. They created slavery to differentiate um black people and poor white people. Because they if you ever hear like the Irish, they said the Irish were slaves too. It's actually true. That's actually true. But they were indentured servants, but they were slaves too. Right. But they wanted to differentiate that because the black class they didn't want black men having sex with white women. That's the whole point. So OJ, see, you see what I'm saying? This literally goes back to everything I'm saying. They're looking at the OJ trial, right? But like the whole concept of a black man with a white woman, like it just boggles their fucking mind, dude. But yeah, that was a difference. They created racism because they did not racism. I sound stupid as fuck. They created inputted slavery because the black man started fucking the white women, and they started noticing that the black men started having a lot in common with the let me get rid of you right here. Let me see. Gonna put you in timeouts. 30 minutes. There we go. So back to what I was saying. Someone started spamming the damn chat like an idiot. So they yeah, 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 they would hate me. You damn right. They would hate me. They would hate me. we, we So, anyways, the black men, or not black men, but black people was starting to. You had poor white people, and they had a lot in common at that time. So, in order to differentiate that, they created slavery. You had indentured servants, and then slavery came on top. That's usually that's what happened. Blew my mind. I was like, "Oh, so this everything started because they saw their black men fucking their white women, and they was like, fuck that shit, hell nah." They saw what was going on with the babies and all that stuff. They said no, and they saw the poor white folks getting cool with the black folks. They said no, and you guys still see shades of that today. It's so funny. Like you would see like a black dude get white with like a trashy white girl. Who said that? It was someone said that. It was someone, or maybe it was a white girl that told me that. Who said that? It was, I think it was somebody, but I'm gonna just paraphrase what they said. They was like, you never see like black guys get with like a real type of like pretty white girl. You always see they get with the white girls that are um like shunned from the family or some shit, like the black sheep. And that's kind of funny because that's kind of like with black men and Asian women too. You said the racial divide was believed to start with the Bacon Rebellion. No, this was before that. This was before that. This was in 1615. Look up the first like wealthy black guy before slavery was installed, and then like if you look at the laws of what they added, like it was because black men were having sex with white women, and they did not want that. Can Shemek more come out of timeout then? Wait, what do you mean? They call them mud sharks. Yes. 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 They call them mud sharks. Yes. Yes. It was a white girl that told me that. It was either a white girl I heard it from someone, but I never forget that. She was like, "You never really see," um, and she was fine. Oh my god, I still think about her. She was so fine, but she was a stripper though. She's a stripper though, finest stripper I ever seen. I still think about her. Still think about her. But she was she it was either her or someone else. She was like, "Yeah, you never see like top of the line white girls with black men. They call them the mud sharks." Racist white folks, it they are the funniest motherfuckers. The way they come up with shit, their racism, the way they come up, mud sharks. Who comes up with that shit? Mud sharks? Whatever. You said a black man named Anthony Johnson started a whole child slavery in America. The white people used his case to keep indentured servants longer than 7 years. Are you getting robbed? What was? Oh, no. Okay, so I'm in California, and I don't know if someone checked. Did Mexico win? Because the Mexicans are going crazy right now. Yeah, you would think I'm racist, but I actually love Mexicans. I love Mexicans. I love black people. I love white people. It's just, I just can't like. I love. I think was the thing about me is I love talking about like the reality of shit. But then when people hear like I said, the Mexicans are going crazy right now. That sounds racist, but I mean, like I'm in California. It's nothing but Mexicans here, and then the World Cup is going. Did Mexico win? They lost? Oh, well then shit. Maybe I don't know what that is then. But yeah, they popping fireworks right now. I thought they won. They started blowing shit up. I was like, damn, all right. But who's they going against? So am I. I'm in the South. OC Mission Viejo. Nah, I'm in LA. Like I'm with the Mexicans, like the ones that be selling tacos on the street and shit. Like if I go to my deli, it's nothing but Mexicans in there. I'll be like, I walk in the deli. This how you know. I walk in the deli. I'll be like, quiero, quiero jamón y queso, croissants y barra de chocolate, uno barra de chocolate. And then I'd be like, y donuts, sí, 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 gracias, por favor. Then I'd be like, I walk over, como, como se dice todo and shit like that. Like they got me speaking Spanish, this motherfucker. Like, I'm like, oh, cada dia, como dia, shit like, how was your day? Como tu dia? Like, oh my gosh. They lost to England. You said Shemek Moore tried to get with Haley Steinfeld when she was married. She rejected him and hooked up with Michael B. Jordan instead. Honestly, that made up. I don't know nothing about that. I know Michael B. Jordan going crazy. Where did Anthony Johnson last name come from? I don't know what you're talking about. When now I will tell you this. Sometimes I might seem all knowing, but if I don't know something, I'll be like, I don't know what y'all talking about. I'll be like, I don't know what you. I don't know. You in Compton? No, I'm in Inglewood. Inglewood used to be like blacks, but it's been gentrified. It was taken over by the rich. Y'all thought I was gonna say the whites, huh? Nah, the rich, because we have the stadium sitting right here, and a bunch of Mexicans have been coming in. They- That's one thing I love about Mexicans. They pile on top of each other. It's like family. Like it's generations that's living in one household. But yeah, they buying up everything and all the stores now. There's like Hispanic stores popping up and stuff like that. It's real interesting. You're seeing more Hispanics on the corner. So like usually you would go to East LA for that, but now it's kind of becoming like that in Inglewood. Make American great again. Make American great again. Trump. Y'all might hate me. I fuck with Trump. I haven't been paying attention to what he's been doing this year, but prior to whatever he's doing, yeah, I fucked with him. What section of the Wilmington Arms you stay at? What do you mean by that? I had a crush on this Mexican girl in middle school and high school. She liked white boys though. Yeah. Yeah. Damn. Now I like Asian women now. That's what I deal with. I deal with Asian women. Yeah, I deal with Asian women. You just gotta know the incentives of what these women are after. Once you know the incentives of what every woman is after, speaking of that, I was just talking to the homegirl about that. You said, well, Harlem being gentrified by white straight up. Nah, Inglewood's man, it used to be nothing but black people here. They took out all the black stores. Um, but that you wanna know something cold? You wanna know something crazy? It's because black folks, mm, y'all about to really bring out the hatred. Man, they got rid of the Asian folks. Like, and it's not because I like Asians. I'm like, there's types of Asians I like. Okay, there's different types of Asians. They got rid of the Chinese folks. Okay, see, Chinese know how to profit off of black people. Okay, they had all the shit in the store, but then black folks jumped up and they like, we want to own this shit. So they own the shit, and then they lose the business within a year. But it was like Chinese folks that had this motherfucker, and they had all the wave caps and stuff like that. And then now it's I think it's Indians now taking over a lot of stuff. There's a lot of Indians coming in. Them Indians is cold too. They, the, I don't know them yet. I haven't really experienced, but like them Indians is cold. They're real quiet. This is I'm not used to dealing with them quite yet. I don't know the stereotypes for the Indian people yet. I know the Chinese stereotypes. I know the Mexican stereotypes. I know the black and the white stereotypes. But the Indians, man, they quiet. They real quiet. I gotta figure them out. I ain't figured them out yet. Yeah. Let me see. Pampers. He was a black man from Europe living in America. What you mean? Oh, anyways, but yeah, back to what I was saying about young men. I feel like young. I was talking to the homegirl, and I was telling her like, yes, yes, count, yes, yes. I think like yes. You say Anthony Joshua Anthony Johnson was a slave. He was known as Antonio the Negro and worked himself to the position he achieved, but lost it via court order after his death. Yes. Yes. He was like one of the first, he was one of the first black dudes to actually gain wealth, but once they instilled slavery, They took all his stuff away and other, but he was like one. Yes, I'm telling you, like. But then when you look at it was a lawman that like the real point of what caused them to instill slavery was they didn't want them having sex with their women. That's what it was about. They didn't want that. Do you think Phoenix Jones will go back to being a superhero? Who is Phoenix Jones? Am I missing something? What story is that? Jay Z helped gentrify. Jay Z helped gentrification of Brooklyn. Also with that, Barca. Yes, 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 yes. But when people hear gentrification, they think like I hate how everything now. If you point out gentrification, or you point out white, or you point out black, like it turns into a racial debate. Up, you said what were you saying? The problem with young men is young men don't know that they're the prize. That's what I told my homegirl. Young men don't know that they're the prize. And I told her, I said, before you roll your eyes, let me explain. I was driving one day and it like it was so interesting to me. I was online and especially on TikTok. Man, TikTok is what really like this whole video is because I'm always on TikTok now. And TikTok has turned into like this gender war fest because it's so easy to get views for this shit. But I'm on TikTok, right? And there was just these girls. They're just talking about what they deserve and princess treatment, all this stupid shit. And I'm just looking at it, I'm listening to it, and I realized something. A prize does not need validation, right? So, and a prize doesn't have its handout like this. It just stays right here, and you have to go get it, right? No prize has its handout. No prize is reaching. Okay. I had realized these young women are constantly asking these young guys, and just men across the board, pay this, pay that, like a prize is not a bill. You get what I'm saying? And I was just like, nah, men are the prize. The problem is when men realize that and develop boundaries. Now, when I say we're the prize, I ain't saying like there's some men running around. I'm the prize. You chase me. I am not gonna do this and that and this and that. Like, no, bro. Like, just understand. You know something crazy? These idiots, and I don't know who it is. They like the building next to me. I think it caught fire on something, but luckily I live next to a fire station. It caught fire, and they're doing the same stupid shit they were doing yesterday. Anyways, back to what I was saying. I hope that's not my car. No, it's not my car. Someone stopped it. Anyways, back to what I was saying. But yeah, like a prize doesn't have its handout. Okay. So when young men decide to grow a backbone and say no, you have to tell Diddy no. When you say no and you have the ability to walk away, you will see your power a lot more. And that's one thing I feel like the red pill. I love bringing up red pill because I feel like the red pill had it. They had it. They had it. They had all men listening at one point. They had that shit. But you know what they was telling young men? They said, "No one gives a fuck about you. You're worth nothing. You have to build up your worth." And that's not true. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. Because this whole world, we do have something. We are valuable because we have the ability to create shit. Everybody sits on their ass wanting men to go create something. Think about it. Like, we like we do have value. But when you keep telling young men that they have no value, that suicide rate keeps going up, man. You know, I was suicidal before too. There's a video of me admitting I was gonna commit suicide. You get what I'm saying? Like when you when young men, but I think my reason was a little bit different. But no, 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 no. It was a lack of understanding of value. See what I'm saying? Like when you tell young men that they have no value, black pill and nihilism comes into play. But I believe I've realized like the whole world is doing this to young men. Everybody in the world is doing this. We're the prize. That's what I believe that. We're the prize. And when we say no, yeah, who the fuck is doing this shit, bro? I don't want to be a party pooper. I'm not gonna be a party pooper. I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna go outside and tell them stop popping that shit. But whatever. I ain't gonna do that. Let me read what you guys said. Phoenix Jones was an MMA fighter who went out and fought crime in a superhero suit. What the hell? Are you serious? Is this real life? Men need to start having the energy that Ninja Turtle did on pop. What's that guy's name? No, we don't need to have his energy. That motherfucker was crashing out because girls was rejecting him. Hell nah. Is it common in the US that women are the providers in the relationship? Women ain't no damn providers. No, they're not. Who said that? Women are not the providers in the relationship. Hell no. But they will provide for a no good motherfucker. They will do that, but like provider, like nah, you have to provide for them. You got to provide for them. And it's crazy too. Like you want me to provide for you, but you ain't gonna listen to what I say. Like I'm telling you guys, it's different games. Like with when I started recognizing the power proximity and the lifestyle proximity game that's being played between Western women, because I was just talking. Every girl I tell that to, I say Western women are interested in power proximity. They're like, what does that mean? I say they care about influence. They care about being around things like someone like there's a video on Facebook, I think, where these women like they literally walked up in the interview. They asked these women, they said, would you rather be the side piece to a married man or deal with a man of your own that tells you no 40% of the time? I'm paraphrasing that, but that's basically what it said. And all of them, they said that they would rather be the side piece to a married man. It's more exciting. Influence, power. When you hear a man telling you no 40% of the time, nah, that weakens my power. Anyways, when I get superpowers, I'm gonna create a superhero persona that will take down adult sites that target young men. I'm gonna use these talking points you're giving when that happens. Hey man, you pretty soon I do wanna that would be kind of cool. I had this I ain't gonna go into that. That's a whole nother topic. That's a long talk about like let me see. I'm from a pimp town. We have a different relationship with women, not many simps in my hood. Um, I'll never forget. I said this online. I pissed people off. I said every day I see. What did I say? I said this a while ago. I said every day these women show me the pimp is right. Or I think I said every day society shows me the pimp is right. For those who don't know, pimping is an acronym. Oh, I'm about to Thomas. If you really know the ism, you about to see. Pimping is an acronym, and it stands for put it in my pocket. Simp is an acronym too. Some people say it's someone idolizing mediocre pussy. I don't like that one. I call it set it in mama's pocket. That's simping. Set in mama's pocket. Pimping is put in my pocket, right? And I started thinking, like, the more and more I started thinking, I was like, because I come from a family of that nature, right? All the pimp is really a manager. Because if you really think about it, like these jobs, like the corporations, these are pimps. Like, anyways, let me get off that though before someone clips me and say Smitty says he's a pimp. But that's how it's always been, even when we was living in villages. If you can't hunt, protect, you were shunned. True, baby said. But Aaron the plumber, yup, funny. I ain't providing shit. No, no, no. look. You said they will provide you a headache. You said in Nordic region, it's very common that women are the providers. Really? Show me that. Are you sure? I'm not. I'm not contesting that shit at all. That's interesting to me. But someone said I ain't providing shit. No, 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 no. This is me. This is me. This is me. This is what I have realized. Like I realized there's nothing wrong with providing. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong with tricking on your girl. Y'all like, damn, Smitty a simp. No. You wanna know what I realized the problem? There's three things that I have learned. That I've learned. We sit back every day and we ask, what do women want? But we don't ask what men want. This is what I learned. I have no problem with tricking on my girl if she follows directions, she follows orders, I say. That's number one. It's number one thing. Do you follow orders? Number two, do you understand my stresses and desires? Number three, can you stay sexy and get even more sexy and be exclusive for me? If you can do those three things, I don't mind tricking on you. That's all men want. I'm gonna say it again. Follow orders, right? Or for some people, that sounds very cooperative. If that, but I fuck that. I say follow orders because if you want me to provide everything, you're gonna follow orders. Fuck that. You can't lead if you can't have a leader if you ain't following orders. That's all I'm saying. But follow orders. Understand my desires and stresses. I truly believe today that a lot of men are emotionally vulnerable. I truly believe that. That number two right there would change, it would flip this country in a positive direction if men in general was getting that number two. Understand my desires and stresses. And number three is exclusivity. But instead of saying exclusivity, I say it's specific. I say get sexy, stay sexy, and be exclusive and keep that exclusive to me. Those three things. There's nothing wrong with providing. You will want to provide. You want her to like. Don't you want to reward a girl like that? I don't know. Y'all want to know something? Y'all want to know something before y'all say, "Oh, Smitty, you." That is a fantasy, right? It's a fantasy, right? The only reason why I'm on live is because I found something like that, and she likes me being alive. Okay, that's it. Okay, that's all I gotta say. Let's continue. Jesus was black. Leonardo da Vinci, Shakespeare, and George Washington were black too. I don't know if that's true. To me, Da Vinci was white because I am an art fan. All right. Let me see. No, I truly, I'm truly an art fan. Truly an art fan. Truly, I draw. Da Vinci was white. I don't give a fuck. He was white. It's a picture of him. It's an old white guy, and he was gay. Da Vinci was white and he was gay. Okay, and Shakespeare was white. May Shakespeare was white to me. There's pictures of him. Okay, George Washington. That man was white. Jesus, maybe he was black. I don't know, or orange or something. I don't know. But they say he had woolly hair or something. He that's the only one. But like and Spider Man, Peter Parker, that's a white boy. Who else did they keep? Whatever they look like, that's what I'm sticking with. The whole social construct is based on what you can provide. But look, check this out. The whole like, and this is what the problem is. I've been saying this a lot lately. I be telling chicks, don't lose your manners. Don't lose your manners. Like this is y'all getting it out of me tonight. We back on topic, baby. I've been telling chicks, I have realized the real issue is like manners. If you look at the social construct, right? I don't know why I haven't told this to my homegirls yet. When we argue, because we be debating all the time. I got a bunch of homegirls, I be debating with them. Like the social construct is that men, this is why it's hard for men to really like accept women in certain roles because we look at them like you really didn't earn that shit. Because the social contract between men is merit based. I need to earn that shit. Men must earn respect. But women, the social construct with women is they do not have to go under the merit. based, right? And not the no, not social construct, the social contract. That's what I'm saying. Okay, the social contract for the society to function properly. For men, it's merit. For women, it's their behavior and how they act. Okay. So when you have a bunch of women running around talking, right? This is why original feminism, there was a anti-women suffragists, women who did not want women having the right to vote. I'm not saying that women shouldn't have the right to vote. I always gotta give these damn disclaimers because people be twisting your words. But they didn't want women to have the right to vote because they thought that women were going to have to go to war. Okay, so that's the real problem and why it's hard for men to, for some men, not all, but some men to respect women because the social contract, women are not under that. Women get leeway and privileges and pretty privileges, and they get to go under the cracks that men would have had to have worked for. And because women as a whole don't see the social contract, some of them have lost their manners. You know, I expect you to act like a girl, a pretty lady, and then I go do what the social contract of a man has told me to do. That actually goes back to what I was saying. I said it's nothing wrong with tricking. And for those who don't know, tricking is spending money on your girls, spending money, providing, telling her you love her. There's nothing wrong with that. Unless she follows orders, understand your desires and stresses, and understand no, and she's exclusive to you. And then someone will probably ask, well, as a man, what are you providing to the woman? Right? This is good too. This is good too. Who the fuck is doing this, bro? What time is it? It's 9:18. When I get off, I'm gonna go see who's doing that. Popping them fucking fireworks. You wanna know when I was 19, I was like, this shit right here is what made me hate the 4th of July. Motherfucker make me lose what I was saying. What was I saying? Oh, so as a man, usually we hear. So I don't want to get any of my viewers that are listening. I don't want us to get too delusional because you have like the girls. They're always saying provide, 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 provide. But then as a man, they never say what they would give the man. What women want is number one, variety and excitement, stability and protection, and they want leadership and guidance. Okay, that's what women want. And if you just flip it, that's what a man as a man, that's what you should provide. Leadership, stability and protection, variety and excitement. Yep. Let me continue. Back to what I was reading. You said Ben Ford in his true name, Phoenix Jones was out and started what was known as Rain City superhero movement. He wore a bulletproof suit and would stop drug dealers. There are videos of this. I need to look that shit up. That's interesting. The big three asked, let me know when you find a girl like that. Oh, you said those, I found a girl like that, motherfucker. I did. Let me zoom up. I'm sorry, guys. Y'all chatting today. I love it. I love it. I love it. You said there is nothing wrong with tricking, but it's against the law to me unless I'm married. If not, she got tricked. You wanna know the crazy thing I be telling chicks? I say it's such a contradiction. I say whatever you want, you can get whatever you want if you focus on my happiness. My happiness is your happiness. I've been saying that shit. You said my art is acting. I was 34 when I realized just because someone older than you, that doesn't mean if you disagree with them is disrespectful. Who cares what color they were? Okay, you said I live 300 feet away from George Washington Old House and Historic Museum. He is 1000% brown. Even white people in the historical society know the truth. I can prove it. Okay. Well, I mean, the pictures I saw, that motherfucker was white. But, if George Washington was black, cool. You said they didn't say Jesus had woolly hair, but he had hair as white as wool. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what. I'm not really a big like whatever fan, but yeah, I'm not really into the you know. Hold on. Forgive me for what I'm about to say if I'm causing disrespect, but I do not think Jesus was God. I believe God is God, but I do not believe Jesus was God. I'm gonna leave it there. I don't believe it. I need to study more though. I believe in God, but it's just hard for me to believe that a man was God. It's hard for me to believe that shit. I struggle to believe that stuff. I believe in God though, but I don't know, man. I struggle with that one. I struggle with that one. Anyways, nah, but he died because he said he is God. Like I can understand that. Like he's the son of God or whatever. But like then they start playing with that idea like he is God. God is he and God, and then he's the son of God, but he is God, and it's just like the Holy Trinity or whatever. And then on top of that, if you know the historical records of the Bible has constantly been the New Testament specifically has constantly been re-edited. There's the Ethiopian Bible, all that stuff like that. I believe the creator is a female energy. Maybe um they say God is a jealous God, and if you like Mother Nature is a bitch too. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if God was a woman. Because if you really think about it, the way we as men look at women, God looks at men like that. It's kind of interesting. Like the way, like it's so funny, and this sounds kind of disrespectful to say out loud. I always say this by myself, but like I've recognized that, um, like men look at women like, damn, she's bad, right? That's a bad chick right there, right? But God looks at men like that too. Like it's weird as hell, It's really weird. But I wouldn't be surprised if God was a woman. I wouldn't be surprised. You said I believe the creator is a female energy, or like, well, no, it's I think the creator. Well, because I was about to say it's yin and yang, right? And God is wrath. I mean, the way if you kind of listen, that does kind of sound like pretty feminine. You say, "Hey, bro, I'm coding while watching this." Hell yeah, hell yeah, hell yeah. You said to defend the streets effectively. What BJJ belt do you have to be? To defend on the streets effectively, you could be any belt. You could be a white belt. You could be a blue belt. You need some striking. That's what you need. You need some striking. Wasn't there a show that just finished airing where the main bad guy tried saying he was God and he was killed? He had a flag for a cape and liked milk. What do you? Who is this? As above, so below. The woman gives life. My God is beautiful brown woman with big butts. I'm just saying, like, it wouldn't shock me if I die and I go to heaven and I find out God is a woman. It wouldn't shock me. I'd be like, oh, makes sense. All right, who you need me to kill? Like, I mean, like, it wouldn't shock me. I'd be like, oh, okay. Like, yeah, like, I don't know. It just wouldn't shock me. And then if you think about it, like only women can get vindictive against other women. Like God was looking, Eve bit that apple. If you look at what was said, what was stated, it's the serpent told Eve, "You can be like God." Like I don't know, like God said, "What?" She said, "All right, m- good men, you gonna have to work and provide, but you, bitch." You gonna be up under men for the rest of your days, and you gonna bleed once a month. Go. Like that's something a woman would do to another woman. That's all I'm saying. Uh, I'm just joking though, but it would make sense. You said, can you spar light and not get brain damage? You just this right here gives brain damage. You will always get brain damage. Even I stutter a little bit sometimes, but um, you'll be all right. But any hit to the head is brain damage. Man is not my God. That's gay to me. I don't know. Do you believe in the afterlife is just the ego not accepting death as the end? I I think maybe. I do think death is beautiful though. I think it's like I I think death is beautiful, but like the way you go out is not beautiful. So like you could either go out in your sleep. If you died in your sleep, I think that's beautiful. But if you flew out your car and got smushed or something, that's not beautiful. Like that's horrifically dying, but the passing on, I think that's a very beautiful thing. And I piss some people off when I say this. I'm like, they say, what if there's nothing beautiful? No more pain, you know? Like, no more pain. Do you shoot? I code for a living. I guess I can't spar to stick to grappling. No, you could spar. You could do all that. It's just I would say go to Muay Thai. Don't do boxing. Boxing gyms, they spar hard as fuck. But like Muay Thai, he said only pussies are scared to die, especially if you're not afraid to live. Yeah, maybe. Shit, that's a damn. I was about to say, no, I'm not scared to die. I what there has to be a different word. I need to like chat GPT or something. Like, I'm not scared to die, but I'm scared how I die, if that makes sense. You get what I'm saying, guys? Like, I'm not scared of death. It's I don't want to drown. I don't want to burn alive. I don't want to get shot. You know, like death by 1,000 needles, or like there's an old medieval torture, like I think they call it the roaring bull or something, where it was some dude, he designed this torture device where like you put someone inside this iron bull and they you heat it up. Just go look it up. It's the Iron Bull or something. And the moment the creator got done, the king said, "All right, let's test it," and put the creator inside of it. Ain't that some fucked up shit? You got commissioned to create this torture device, and the first person they try it on is you. That is insane. But that to me, like, I don't want to die like that, you know? Death is scary, but if you find peace, it's not that bad. No, it's okay to go on, but I don't, like I don't want it to be violent. Hey, I know you don't remember me, but we were in rehab together. You looking good, Papa. Stay strong. We were in rehab together. What type of rehab? What are you talking about? Rehab. I ain't never took drugs before, but it depends on what type of rehab. Rehab? Like for what type of rehab? Maybe you're trolling me because I don't know what you're talking about. But yeah, yeah, I'm like rehab, am, like for my shoulder. New Horizons in the Bronx. I remember you. I remember you, dog. Yeah, we got out, man. Yeah, man, I remember you. How's your family? How's your family, dog? Because I've never been to the Bronx. I'm a LA baby. I don't know what the fuck you talking about, dog. I've never been to the Bronx. I should have waited till you typed. My family's good, man. Like I've never been to the fucking Bronx, motherfucker. Like the fuck you talking about, dog? Uh, I ain't never been to New York. You said, "What's your favorite car?" Um, I'm not really a car person. You know something crazy? When I play video games, like it's weird. I don't really know much about cars, but when it comes to like Call of Duty or any type of game where it's racing, right? Even in real life, and I start like driving something that like I be on it, dog. I be like hitting, like I'm good at that shit. Like I don't know what it is. I was talking to this chick. She was like, I said, I'm a good driver. Oh, I got the funniest story, yo. Speaking of good driving, one thing about me, I think maybe it's because I'm really good at evading things. So like I will never forget. I was late to work. This was years ago. So I was driving. I have a 2011 Dodge Charger. These like these wide cars. So I was swooping. I'm trying to get to work, right? And this dude, like, it was like a one-way street, and he was in the way. So I hit over. I don't know why people do this shit. So while I'm trying to gun past, he starts doing this shit, and I scraped his car, right? And I scraped, and I got in front of him, and then we both got to a red light, right? So he drives up next to me and he's like, "You hit my car, homie," right? And he sounds Mexican, but he was black, okay? With a Mexican girl next to him. So I don't know. But so I looked at him and he was on this side. And I was like, that's how I know his girl was Mexican. I was like, oh yeah. I was like, damn. I just took off like on some hit and run shit. I took off, right? This was like 10 years ago, maybe, or maybe more than that. This shit was this was in 2017, I think. Yeah, I think this is in 2017. So I took off. I'm driving, mind you, like I'm kind of like near the hood, right? So I'm speeding. He starts chasing after me. So I start like moving because I didn't have no damn insurance, and there's never been no points on my record or nothing for like accidents. Like I there's and I didn't want that shit on my record. I'm like, bro, like I scraped you. You try to get in my way. Get the fuck out of my way. I'm late to work. So I'm running from this guy, right? And I know that maybe his girls they're trying to write down my license plate. So I hit into like the what was that? The neighborhood, right? And this dude is chasing me throughout the neighborhood, but I kept hitting corner, 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 corner. And then I hit the corner, but these motherfuckers was still on me. And then I went into traffic and I timed it right on some like Tokyo drift shit. Yeah, 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 yeah. I swerved like I like swung into traffic and took off like that, and then hit back into the hood. Like I swung into traffic while traffic was going, passed them like this, went back into the hood, turned off my car, and sat like this. And then they took off I don't know how they turned off. They took off right past me, turned back on my car, sped over to sped back towards work, and barely fucking made it in time. Barely. And I was thinking I was at work, and I was like, I said, this shit is not worth it. Like I said, you went through you had a whole hey dog, stop with the spamming. You gonna get blocked. But I was like, you had all this time to speed and run. All right, bro. Motherfuckers is ignorant. Let me see. Let's put user in timeout. 24 hours. Um. Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. I don't know why people do that. They be coming in acting stupid. But yeah, like I was at work and all I was thinking about, and this is why to this day, if you ever drive with me, like I've had many moments like that, but I think that was like the last moment that I really ran. Who else did I run from? There's so many like moments of me running like in high speed chases. That was my favorite because it was so stupid. It was like it was so fucking stupid. Motherfucker got like, damn, that's crazy. Motherfuckers got like multiple. That's crazy. These motherfuckers got multiple accounts. That's crazy. Y'all making up. Damn. Okay. Yeah, you saw he went on his other account. That's crazy. He went. He got blocked. Went on his other account, searched up my name, and jumped back to say the same shit. That's crazy. But yeah, that's one of my favorite high speed chases. Don't do that shit. But that's just it's my favorite because I literally did not have to go through all that, you know? I didn't have to do that. What's good, bro? While seeing you live. Ah man, yeah. Today is Sunday. I'm having trying to have a 3 hour live stream, having a good time talking about all types of stuff. And we got somebody who got like, you say you need mods, bro. Yeah, I know, but it's all good. You say, yeah, he went on his other account. Like I told you, gotta ignore it though. People be miserable and going up through a lot. No excuse once you know that you don't care. Yeah, it was just weird. I don't know. It's weird. Do you ever drink shakes? I always drink shakes. Yes, yes, yes. Shakes are good for you, dog. Let me scroll up. I think some of you guys were talking and I didn't read you. I didn't read your comments. You said when you get your first big check, when are you vacationing? Man, I want a vacation at the end of this year, man. I want a vacation at the end of this year. You said my boyfriend keeps looking at another girl. When together, asked him to stop many times, but he won't. I'm leaving him, but now I can't stop comparing myself to her. How do I stop? Shit, I don't know. Like you. Oh, hold on. Okay, okay, okay. Got a stream sniper. Let me see. You have to be a purple belt up to mod. Shit, I don't know. You ain't gotta do none of that. You say I'm a trans film. Trans are human rights. Do we agree, loves? I'm not calling you trans. I'm just asking if I'm respected in this chat. Yeah, you respect it. Did I accidentally? Oh, yeah, no, you respect it. What was that? You said I don't like. Oh my gosh, y'all, what's going on tonight? What is going on tonight? Y'all want to know what's going on? These hey, you look like that guy I went to school with. Oh, interesting. The trolls, y'all got me speechless right now. Yeah, trans are welcome here. I don't know, Henny. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I think maybe the World Cup then did something. Saying it like that's crazy, bro. Motherfuckers is weird. You said, oh yeah, Andre, I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's funny. He said chicken sandwich or taco salad. Keep on the other is banished from. What are you talking about? How'd you go from trans to chicken salad? What are we talking about, bro? Y'all motherfuckers. Ooh, shit. Maybe I've been on lives too long. I'm trying to get to 3 hours. You Henny, you see this? Keystone, please wish my friend happy birthday. Keystone or what's going on with y'all? Y'all gotta be kids. I'm glad we got to the main topic. These gotta be kids. I just recently posted the 7 pins of jiu-jitsu. I hope you guys like it. Oh, these are trolls. Would you ever join a big MMA gym? Maybe. Maybe. How is Side Control different from Keskatami? They're the same thing. I said that in the video that Side Control is basically Keskatami. I just call it Side Control. Those are beer brands, my guy. Far from being kids. You think so? It seems like you said I'm just asking honest questions. I don't know, y'all. Wait, what's the beer brands? I didn't even read that. I'm just reading like just people saying weird stuff. Y'all want to know something funny though? I'm gonna tell y'all something real funny. The more y'all comment, just FYI, is like helping my PR for this channel. So it's just I'm not gonna tell y'all what I don't want to see, but like y'all can keep asking dumb questions. I'm gonna read over it. But y'all helping the PR for the channel though. I got Smith and Keskatami. It was like a head and arm. Yeah, I'm gonna break down everything. I just recently showed the 7 pins of jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna show some slick back takes real soon. You said my game is similar to yours, except I'm a little bigger. Yeah, you could be just as explosive too. That's the cool part. Would you recommend me to go to Boxing Works for 3 months before going to an MMA gym? I mean, dog, I would go to an MMA gym. If you're no, I would go to an MMA gym. Which MMA gym are you gonna go to? Which MMA gym are you gonna go to? Boxing Works is a good fucking gym though. Oh my god, it's such a good gym. Mm, tried to pop my neck, didn't work. You said boxers have better cardio? In what sense? Probably Black House though. Be careful. Black House has shout out my boy Byron. Black House has like where the regular people go and actual fighters go. So be careful with that. You said kickboxers too. Better cardio than who specifically? Who are we talking about? Grappling cardio hits different. It does. Kickboxers and boxers have longer fights, not just 3 rounds. Oh, you're saying that kickboxers and boxers have better cardio than MMA fighters? Question. I'm not even being an ass. Just a question. Have you ever sparred an MMA round? If my number one submission is triangles, does that mean I have skinny legs? I think that means you have flexible, dexterous legs. You said, "Oh yeah, I used to remember you now. I used to train with the light skinned girl. I think you used to date or coach or both. Good stuff." Are you talking about Taylor Moore? Taylor Moore. She's living right now in the reason why you don't see her in my videos no more is she moved to uh where is that? Oceanside. She moved to Oceanside. That's why. I talk to her every day, by the way. Every single day. I talk to her every single day. Still talk to her. Talk to her every day. Tell her stuff. A lot of her matches that she has, I go over game plans with her and stuff. So yeah, I talk to her every day. He said, "Good enough. Welcome back." See, that's funny. Where is my super suit? What music do you like to so my homie, he plays West Coast music. He always plays West Coast music. He's the one that's on the ox in the gym, and it's a lot of rap. Um it's been I honestly don't mind, but I think there's a rhythm. Like if you ever watch my videos, there's a rhythm that I'm moving to. It's because there's like rap music in the background, like where you could like bounce to and move to and fall down to the beat. I think I like all music. I know people say that, but like I love country, singer-songwriter music. I love rock, I play it myself. Like I love that, but I just think like rock in general is just really like weird to roll to. It's really weird to roll to. Uh of course you don't want to be rolling to no R&B and get a little bump and ride. You're like, oh, bro, you holding on the man, listening. You maybe, yeah. Like, oh, fuck, bro. Like, doom, da da doom, do do. You don't want to hear that shit. Like, yeah, he played Frozen in both movies. I would. You know what black character would I want to play? Everyone says Miles Morales, but like, he's so overrated. Who would I? Static fucking Shock. I would love to play Static Shock, like an older version of Static Shock. I would love to play that shit. Static Shock. Or mm, the only person that I probably would blackwash, because I hate when they change the race of certain people, but the only one that I would do it to is Batman Beyond. I fucking loved Batman Beyond, and I feel like you can. That's the only. I feel like that's the only character you could like. Did Terry's race matter? Did it matter? Did Terry's race matter? Because like Bruce Wayne would fuck with. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know, but I fuck with Batman Beyond, dude. Dude, when can you start going around Cali doing seminars for BJJ? I think, dog, when because I just started, I'm gonna start posting more and more jiu-jitsu videos of me breaking it down. Like I just posted 7 pins of jiu-jitsu. You should check that out. I just posted that. Um, and I think that video is pretty damn good. I'm gonna break down more jiu-jitsu, and I think eventually people are gonna want to start having me do seminars and stuff. And yeah, the goal that I really want to do for martial arts is I feel like online there is a library of striking content. Like it's amazing how much you can learn how to strike online if you know what you're looking at. But with grappling, it's not like that. It's not like that at all. You have to pay for grappling, and for the longest time, people would say that grappling is a type of art where you need another person. But I kind of disagree. I do think that there are things that you could do that could make you better, and I'm gonna start showing that. That's the goal. I want to show that. So starting off with the 7 pins though, and then I'm gonna show. I think what I might do. I have the keys to the gym right over there. I think theoretically I could get off this live stream. I might, you know what? I might fucking do that one of these days. I think I might do that. I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, that would be fun. I'm gonna go to the gym and I'm gonna show you guys some cool shit, like solo shit. That actually would be a dope ass live stream. You said, is getting a dummy worth it? Ah, 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 ah. Yes, getting a dummy is so worth it. Getting a dummy is worth it. Yes, it is. So worth it. And getting a dummy is absolutely worth it. This is all the time when I'm practicing, thinking about my um I use the dummy for guard passing. I think guard passing is the middle child of jiu-jitsu that's not talked about enough. But yes, get you a dummy. Worth it. But you still need to know what you're doing. And I could practice the 7 pins on this dummy. I could practice Toriando passing. I could practice my split squat passing, headquarters. Uh, Not really so much like rear naked chokes. You don't need that, but I do get to practice. I haven't done it yet, but I get to practice spider web. So as if I get to practice as if someone's going for like I'm going for like an arm bar. I haven't practiced on that yet, but that's the next thing I want to start practicing on. All right, go over there. Uh, you said the only. Let me see. Wait, let me read. I'm sorry, I was talking to my lady. Did you ask something? The only heroes you match aesthetically before I go is the Black Kid Flash and Miles Morales and Spider Man. Batman Beyond wouldn't make that much sense. He's a clone of Bruce. Really? Really? Okay. Mm. See, if I thought I never got that far in Batman Beyond, I just liked this. I just liked the whole world of Batman Beyond. Really? Okay. Okay, so he's a clone of Bruce. Okay, well then that fucking would make sense. I'm big on continuity, but yeah. Static Shock though, I'll probably do Static Shock. Or Blade. I would love to do Blade. Like a Son of Blade or some shit. Like I would love to do that. Who else is there? What other black characters? Or I would love to do. I think honestly, I hope Ryan Coogler sees this. There's so you have Killmonger, right? But then the fucking Black Panther franchise is not that like interesting anymore. But there's another guy named Warmonger, I believe. You know, like I think he's a African American too. A lot of Black Panthers villains are African Americans, but like Warmonger, I would love. I'm telling you guys, I would love to play a villain. Like I love villains. Villains are my shit. I would love give me an obscure villain, like a villain that really like no one really gives a fuck about the race or whatever. I promise I would act my ass off with that villain. You said I know it. You said Wally West from CW. I noticed when I started being more aggressive without being an asshole, my BJJ got better instead of being too passive. Yeah, it's all mindset. Jiu-jitsu is all mindset. You said, "Hey, my lady actually got me a body smart scale to track my body fat percentage. How important would you say that is?" I don't think body does your body fat percentage matter? I don't think it does. I don't think it does. I don't think that matters. That's something the girls would care about. I mean, let me look that up for you later on after this live stream. Let me look that up because I don't think that matters. Does that matter? I don't think it does. Mm. What time did I start this live? Has it been? Let me see. How many minutes? 104 minutes. Well, no, 60 plus 60 is 120, so that'll be 2 hours. How long have I been on live? It feels like it's been longer. Let me see. Shirt be looking wireproof. Yeah, it's a rash guard. Did y'all know rash guards are actually basically uh surf gear? It's basically surf gear. I thought I thought he was Bruce Sun. I didn't watch Justice League Unlimited. I don't know. I just would love to be in the Batman um Beyond universe. I would love to, or put me as a villain. I would love to be in that universe. It's just so dope. When a person realizes they can get good at anything with relentless repetition, anything is possible. Exactly. I just showed you guys my drawing. Yeah, exactly. 1.45. Oh, okay, okay, okay. I was like, thank you. Because I was like 60, 105, whatever. You said no, pimp. It was the epilogue of Justice League Unlimited. You guys see it. There's it was only one episode on HBO Max. Oh, okay. I think Batman. Hey, hey, dogs. We can talk about some Batman and stuff. Um, I is Batman overrated? I think because he's not a superhero, that is a superpower for him. You know. Did I watch Supergirl? Nah, I haven't watched. I heard that shit was terrible, so I'm not. It did worse than Morbius. Apparently, it's Morbin time. So I just nowadays I don't like the way they've done nerd culture because people don't know I'm truly a nerd with this shit. Like I watched them infiltrate nerd culture before pop culture, and like it's abysmal of how it is now. Play Hypo Hustler, he's a non-popular villain. Is that a real you said Hypno Hustler? Is that a real person? Or are you bullshitting me? Like I would like, dude, like I would want to be something. Give me a villain. I would turn him out. It'd be so great. Hey, what advice would you give Bear from the you wanna know something? Me and Taylor was just talking about that. Me and Taylor was just talking about that. I feel like I could have worked with that. I could have worked with that. I could have worked with that. I could have worked with a crazy chick like that. I could have worked with that. She just needed direction. I even seen that. It was funny. I seen that on TikTok too. Homie was like, she just needed direction. I was like, yeah, I could have worked with that. Well, Taylor was like, I felt like you would have liked it. You would have like put some structure in her life. I'm like, I could have worked with that. I like a girl that's crazy about me. I like that shit. I like it. I need a girl obsessed with that. You just gotta turn that energy. You gotta turn it. I could have worked with that. Oh my god. He did in famous words, he ain't hitting it right. One Punch Man. Hey, bro, I'm gonna say it like this: One Punch Man because he's a gag character, but I cannot stand the Baki anime. No, I just can't stand Baki in general. Like everybody, can somebody tell me what is so great about Baki? I know who Baki is. I tried to read it. It was just so dumb to me, and I hate that. That's the only like true, not true, but like that's like the most recognizable martial art like manga. It's so frustrating. I'm like, hate Baki. Who should Adesanya fight next? Retirement? I'm sorry. That was kind of mean. Uh, but yeah, I'm dead ass. He needs to retire. He needs to retire. Fuck no, he's not overrated. Definitely would not beat up Superman. Batman. The only time I think it was the what the anime show that they it was fuck what was it? Whatever. There was one movie where Batman literally said, "We're only alive because he won't kill us." Like that was the best variation I've heard about it when it comes to Batman versus Superman. Batman knows that Superman has a code that he's not gonna go by, that he won't go over. But yeah, if Superman won, he could definitely kill Batman. Watching corner advice is so cool. It's like a military general telling their soldier what to do in war. It feels so defeating because you're sitting there, you're like, okay, just do this, man. Just fucking listen to me. Just go. Because from my point of view, well, let me think. I remember when I was in the corner of my first MMA fight, and I was sitting there. I remember it was the second round, and I was sitting there and I was looking at my opponent. I got this from Mayweather. I heard Mayweather when he sits in the corner, he's like, he looks over and watches you. So I was looking over, and I remember I was dead tired. I was like, all right, I was like, I'm winning this fight. And my coach came up to me. He was like, I think you're losing. I think you're about to lose this fight. I was like, what? Like, I've been whooping his ass. Like, what you mean? What more do you want from me? And then I went to that third round and submitted his ass. But like, I thought I was losing that fight. So I guess corner advice does help. And then he was laughing at me later on. And he was like, he said, I didn't want you to let up. And I was just like, well, that made me submit him because I thought I was losing. I thought I was losing. You said just keep it away from the cat and the tape. Yeah, I mean, look, bro. I could have worked with her. I could have worked with her. Have y'all seen the actress in real life? Have y'all seen that actress in real life? The actress from Obsession. Have y'all seen her? She fine as hell. Well, hold up. How old is this girl? They said she's gonna be with Michael B. Jordan, so I believe she's of age, but she fine as hell though. I could have worked with that crazy ass. I was like, yeah, she'll kill for you too. You said, oh, I remember you said Baki is so good. Can you guys tell me like what is so good about Baki? What is so interesting? Like everybody loves Baki. Like I be like skipping over it now. Hunter x Hunter is back. I'm loving that. Hunter x Hunter is back. I fucking love Jujutsu Kaisen. I read thousands of chapters of Hajime no Ippo. Great. I want to create a jujitsu manga. I would love to create a jujitsu manga. Let's see. I'm like drawing this. I'm drawing this stuff for this. Like I would love to create that. I would love to create that. I'm working on it right now. Working on that stuff right now. I would love to do that because there's no one like the. It's such a niche ass art. No, I haven't seen Nikki's actress. Yep, yep. Yeah, nah, that home chick, phew, she looked good. I didn't even know she looked like that. I was like, damn, I look good. But yeah, back to it. Baki. Yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I'm not. You said no Hunter. You said Hunter x Hunter is asking too much from his audience. I stopped. The fam true backstory was cool. You gotta invest inside of the it's just so great if you have nothing to do. Like if you have nothing to do, the Hunter x Hunter manga is great. Just I don't even read that shit no more. I just let the anime reviewers just break it down for me while I'm drawing. I'm like, all right, and I just let them break it down for me. Kingdom. Does anyone like Kingdom? Kingdom is goaded. Kingdom is a sleeper. And you want to know something crazy? I I wasn't a fan of One Piece. I was not a fan of One Piece, but now I understand One Piece. When I started reading Journey to the West. Do anyone know what Journey to the West is? I have been so addicted, and now I understand the inspiration of Goku, um, Monkey D. Luffy, Naruto. Like, it makes so much sense. Journey to the West, and it's crazy because this was made like centuries ago, and it's so good. It's so good. For those who don't know, Journey to the West is basically like this old Chinese novel. Not a novel. It's an epic where they basically have to go get like some scrolls. It's like a pilgrimage to go get something. Which, if you think about it, to go get One Piece, which is the whole inspiration of literally the whole inspiration of One Piece. So great, so great. But anyways, yeah, like Jujutsu Kaisen. I One thing that I love about Jujutsu Kaisen, well, no, I don't love about it, but no, it's good. I think the anime of Jujutsu Kaisen is handling itself really well, but that ending of Gojo, just I don't want to. Hi everyone, hi Smitty'Wit, hi from Paris. Hello, how you doing? I was about to spoil it for you guys. I don't want to do that. All right. It looks like the chat is slowing down, and my ass is getting tired. I am getting tired. So I am about to get off. I think I did enough. I chatted. I didn't chat about what I wanted. Well, I wanted to talk about one thing, but then we ended up talking about another thing. I read everything in JJK. Oh, so good, so good. The Gojo versus Sukuna ending, I didn't like it. I didn't like it, and I'm a Sukuna fan. I did not like. I didn't like it. You said best Spider-Man, Toby, Tom, Andrew. Like I believe that Andrew's Spider-Man is aging like fine wine. The more and more, like, I was a fan of it when it first came out, but like the way everybody said it was terrible, and now all of a sudden everybody's starting to recognize that that was really good. Now, don't get me wrong. I will look up Phoenix Jones, by the way, but like Toby Maguire, like fucking love Toby Maguire. So like when I rewatch that Spider-Man, the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, it's good. But nobody encapsulated Spider-Man quite like Andrew Garfield. Tom Holland, he looks like Spider-Man though. Like that's what I would imagine Spider-Man to be. But Andrew, my God, like the like I it was like a healthy blend because so Sam Raimi's Spider-Man was like it wasn't on the nose. It was just like like them old Power Rangers where it kind of looks like bulky and everything. I feel like the Amazing Spider-Man's world, they had some creative liberties, but it was close enough to what I was with. The only thing I didn't like was the Rhino. That was kind of stupid. That was kind of dumb how they did the Rhino, but like everything else, they did a pretty damn good job. They did a pretty good job. Electro was a good villain. Uh, Harry as the Hobgoblin was kind of dumb. Well, I guess they did kind of fuck up a little bit on the villains. Yeah, I like how Sukuna is written, but he is a terrible person. No, Sukuna is one of the best written villains in a long time. Because I like Gege Akutami did that on purpose because he knew people was gonna be expecting Sukuna to be like that good demon inside, but he was like, "What if I actually create an actual demon inside?" But like, um, I just didn't like the ending of the Gojo fight. I just didn't like it. I hated that ending, and I hated how Gojo was like, whatever. But Gojo, I hated that ending. I was not a fan of that. Or at least draw how he lost, like it was such a legendary fight with a piss poor ending. And he copied Hunter x Hunter's Kurolo versus Hisoka. He copied the fuck out of that, but then he didn't deliver with the ending because Kurolo versus Hisoka was I think that was like a perfect fight, perfect, but it didn't have the hype that Gojo versus Sukuna had. But it was a great fight. I remember reading that shit too. It was a perfect fight. I actually still like Gojo versus Sakuna. I still like look back at that fight like entertainment wise, but like intelligent strategy wise, I look at Hisoka versus Corolla. I always go back and like look at that. I tell people who haven't read to keep in mind everything Yuji sees and knows, Sukuna will know too. Yeah, yeah, so great, so great. Damn, it's already 2 hours. Wow, I could have swore I looked up. It's 104 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 hours. I am going to hop off now. And love you guys. I will be on tomorrow. I'm gonna come up with another topic. I was expecting this topic to be we went all over the place, but I did promise that this is gonna be an OG stream. 2 hours of us just yapping it together is a great stream. I might change the topic, but whatever, because we didn't keep it. Yeah, I'm about to get some rest now. I'm gonna be on tomorrow though. I'm gonna hop on tomorrow. I don't know what I'm gonna talk about, but we're gonna go back to. I don't now. What I don't want to do is I don't want to stick with. I like the gender dynamics and stuff like that. I like all that stuff, but I don't want to stay here. I'm not a fan of these types of topics. It gets we as you saw, we brought in some weird guys, but for the most part, see, like my point exactly. Look at the comment. Anyways, you guys take care. I'm gonna be off. I'm ready to go yap it up and cupcake. So y'all be safe. I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow. Peace.